There are 4 steps to finishing drywall the right way. Most finishers do at least 2 of them the hard way, and it's costing them hours on every job. Today, I'll walk you through the whole process, every tool that you need, and how to get into this system without breaking the bank. By the end, you'll know exactly how to upgrade and be prepared for any job. Most finishers are in one of 2 spots. One, they do it by hand with a trowel, a knife, and pure muscle. They've done it this way for years, but the angle days are slow. It's hard on the body, and on bigger jobs, it can cost more in unpaid hours. Or 2, they look to going full auto and priced out those big brands. It's serious professional gear and a serious investment. For those finishers, the cost alone is enough to put it right back up on the shelf. And even if you buy in, there's a lot of tools to learn, a steep learning curve, brutal cleanup after every job, and maintenance that never stops. So most finishers are stuck. It's either too slow to stay by hand or too pricey to go full auto. Can-Am filled that gap for finishers when they invented the semi-automatic dry tools back in 1973. They're faster than hand taping, they're easier to learn, and the cost is nowhere near close to the full auto. Here's the whole process from start to finish, so that you can see why the upgrade is the smartest move. First, we'll focus on the inside corners because that's where you'll lose most of the time. 1, apply the mud clean and even. 2, apply the tape to the wet mud. 3, roll the tape and sit it in the corner. And 4, flush the corners to feather it clean. 4 steps every inside corner. But the real question is how long each step takes you and how much of that time you're working for free. Let's start with step 1, and that's where finishers lose the most time. Putting the mud on by hand is slow. You're scooping, you're spreading, you're trying to get even on both sides all at once, and whilst trying not to drop the mud on the floor. On a big angle day, that's where a lot of wasted time and wasted mud. The compound tube fixes that. Fill it right from the bucket, snap on your applicator head and run it smooth. Even mud right onto the wall. No scooping, no mess, no uneven spots. And every gold core applicator has a spring-loaded side skirt that keeps the mud tight to the tool and less spillage. Less dropping, less mess. For the inside corners, use the inside corner applicator. The right amount of mud on both sides, one pass. Run it both directions, no flipping the tool. For the outside corners, use the outside corner applicator. It has 8 wheels for extra gliding control. Even mud, one pass both sides. For the flat joints, use the flat applicator. Run the mud down the seam in one pass, both directions, no flipping. 1 tube, 3 heads, every joint on the job. And that is just the start of what it can do. After the mud's on the wall, the tape goes in. Most finishers rush this step because it feels simple, but how well that tape sits decides everything after. Get it wrong and you're sanding, patching and redoing the work. Let's talk about step 2. So you want to lay your tape into the wet mud, same as always. Pre-crease that paper tape and sit it into the compound. Nothing fancy here, just do it right the first time. And every step after that gets easier. Step 3 is where the gold core inside corner roller shines. It sits and embeds the tape right into the corner. Same pressure on both sides. No wrinkles, no air bubbles. No tape sliding from one side. A knife and trowel can't do that every time. You're always pushing a little bit harder on one side, fighting to keep it centered. With your roller, start in the middle, roll up, and then roll down with light pressure. That's it. Then you're on to the next corner. If you pair it with the extendable roller handle, which goes from a 3.6 feet to 6 feet, so that you can cover the floor to the ceiling with no bench needed. And here's the bonus. Rolling your corners does 2 things. It makes your corner finisher last longer. If you skip that roll, it wears out fast right at the apex. So you're replacing it sooner than you should. And it gives you a sharper apex. That's a big deal at painting stage. A crisp corner makes cutting in easy, and the painters will love you for it. That brings us to step 4, where the real time saving shows up. It's where Can-Am beats everyone else in the semi-auto world. Let me show you how. Using the roller glide corner finisher, or flushes, as most guys would call it, you wipe and you feather both sides of the corner at once. So it's one pass, both sides done. Then go in with a knife to clean up any extra mud and tighten your 3-ways. That's your tape coat done. No doing one side, then waiting, and then the other. You pair it with the extendable flusher handle, the same 3.6 to 6 feet of reach, so you're running from the floor to the ceiling without a bench in one smooth motion. Now most people see all this and ask the same thing. How do I get into the semi-auto world without spending a fortune? There's 2 ways. Option 1, don't buy everything at once. To get started, you really only need 4 tools. the compound tube, the roller guide corner finisher, the gold core inside corner applicator, and the extendable flusher handle to run it. That gets you taping and finishing for less upfront. Build out the rest piece by piece as the work pays for it. There's an even better option that prepares you for every job site, and that is option 2. You go all in from day one with the complete Gold Core professional toolkit. It has every tool, the roller included, nothing's missing, and every benefit working for you on the very first job. If you're going to build out the full system anyway, buying one piece at a time actually ends up being the more expensive way to do it. That's every tool in the tool case. Buy them one at a time and it ends up fast. Buy them together in the Gold Core Professional Toolkit and you pay less for the same amount of tools. Same tool, one case, one better price, easy call. And the price is only half the story. The other half is what you get back on every job in time, effort, and the quality of your work. Compared to the hand finishing, the system is faster and cleaner. Both sides of the corner in one pass with the same even pressure every time. So your lines are straighter, your corners are sharper. And then there's less sanding after. That consistency is hard to hit by hand, especially when you're moving fast. The bigger the job, the more you save, the better it looks when you're done. And compared to the full auto, you get most of the speed without much higher cost to the start. All the cleanup and the maintenance that comes along with it. And a compound tube is light, it's simple to run, so you finish the day with more left in you. Plus, if you're already running auto, this isn't about switching. Keep a Can-Am sit close for those smaller jobs, the repairs, and the days that you're working solo. Reaching for the right tool for the job isn't a step down. It's what smart finishers do, and the semi-auto sits right in the middle. Faster than hand, simpler than the auto, it's the best of both worlds. Pete from PR Wilson Interiors has been finishing for 40 years. He's tried the full automated mechanical heads, the corner boxes, and even owns 2 continuous flow systems. But he still reaches for the Can-Am. As he puts it, nobody does the angles better. And before you decide, here is the promise behind every Can-Am tool. Every Can-Am tool is covered by a lifetime performance policy. A defect in materials or workmanship, and they'll repair and replace it. And finishers stick with these tools just as long. Sean from the Mudder's Touch has ran the Can-Am for over a decade and says his inside corners are crisper, saving him time and money on every job. Kayla from the One Chick Taper & Co. has used Can-Am since 2011 and tells everyone she knows, from apprentices, remodelers, and anyone who does drywall, that's what Can-Am has stood for since 1973. So here are your 2 options. You start small and you just get the core tools to get you into the semi-auto, and then you build out from there as the work pays for it. Or you go all in with the Gold Core Professional Toolkit. You show up to every job with the full system ready for less than buying it piece by piece. Either way, the link's in the description, and if you want to see exactly why hand finishing costs you more than you think, then watch the next video. I'll see you there.